rabbi from a great family in Meknes. His name was Rabbi Rafael Elkouby, very, very great rabbi of his time. I think he is famous for being the brother also of Rabbi Rafael Elkouby, a rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before here inside this series. And there's just a few stories I found from a great website connected to the Moroccon Rabbi within regards to him. So I thought we'll start with that and then we'll explore a bit more within regards to his life. It's actually the website is Morocco with a guide.co.il. So I'm going to state over some of the stories in Hebrew within regards to him because he was very much a great rabbi of his time. It says over there, המלאך ממקנס, he was known as the angel of Meknes. הצדיק שרואה גם בלי עיניים. סיפור חייו של רבי רפאל אלקובי. He was a really, really great rabbi over there. They give an instruction over here on this website. רבי רפאל אלקובי לא היה אדם רגיל. הוא היה צדיק אמיתי. He was a really, really great righteous rabbi. אחד כזה שמהר מאוד הבינו שסביבו קורה משהו אחר. האנשים במקנס קראו לו המלאך. He was nicknamed the angel of מקנס. לא בגלל סיפור אגדי, אלא כי כל מי שפגש בו הרגיש שהוא רואה דברים שאף אחד אחר לא רואה, לא בעיניים בלב. So he was able to notice many things when he would meet different people, with the greatness of the stature of him. תמיד ראה, גם כשהתעוור. בסוף ימיו רבי רפאל איבד את ראייתו. Seemingly, I don't know if partially or he lost his eyesight to some degree. At the time period towards the end of his life. אבל דווקא אז קרה הבלתי רגיל. למרות שלא ראה, הוא תמיד ידע מי עומד להיכנס אליו הביתה. He would know who is coming to the house straight away. He was there even if he couldn't see properly. בלי לשמוע צעדים, בלי לראות. הוא קבע ידע. היו מכרים שבהם אמר למבקר. אתה בא בגלל הבעיה עם אחיך. עוד לפני שאדם פצע את פיו. או שאמר לנכד. התקבלת לעבודה. ותהיה חזק. שעות לפני שהטלפון צלצל, just before the phone is going to ring over there, אנשים פשוט היו נדהמים. הוא ראה בלי עיניים, שמע בלי אוזניים, וידע בלי שמישהו סיפר. So he had the knack, even if he didn't have good eyesight. Who was over there, think about it. כוח של מילה אחת. אחד הסיפורים הבולטים במשפחה מתאר את היום שבו חתונו. אהרון בן עזרא. היה חולה מאוד. So seemingly Aaron ben Ezra was sick. אשתו חציבה, I hope I pronounced the name correctly, ביתו של רבי רפאל, באה אליו עם תינוק על היד, בוכה. רפאל הביט בה בעיניים עצומות. חיבק אותו ואמר, אל תדאג. הוא קם, הלך אל אהרון ואמר מילה אחת, קום. אהרון פקח את עיניו, חזר לעצמו, וחי עוד שנה שלמה. עד יום כיפור. המשפחה מספרים על הרגע הזה עד היום. So this is a phenomenal story with regards to the koach, his blessing. Another story, it's actually titled of המנהיג השקט של מקנס. יחד עם אחיו, Rabbi Yosef Elkouby. We're going to speak about Rabbi Yosef Elkouby in a minute. He was another great rabbi of his time. He was obviously a posek and a Rosh Yeshiva. Rabbi Yosef Elkouby, his brother, we'll speak about him in a few minutes. מנהיג רבי רפאל את הישיבה המרכזית במקנס. הם לא רק לימודות תורה. Him gidlu talmidim. They would bring up some great students in itself. Beno hakihila vilo ruach hadasha be'ir. They really bring like a great a Torah air inside the city. Talmidehem hafchu lidmiotam mepetach ba'olam. Arabanut. Rav Rafael Baruch Toledano, who we'll speak about soon, and Rav Yosef Meshash, who we'll speak about him. There was also another great rabbi, Rabbi Rafael Ederi, and also Rav Shalom Meshash. It was a great league of rabbanim. Kulam sifugo. רחם. השילוב ביניהם, הקדושה של רפאל, הפסיקה המדויקה של יוסף, הפך את בית המדרש למרכז רוחני שהשפיע על אלפים. So many thousands of people get really very much inspired from a Torah point of view within regards to that. There's also a title over here, המלאך של הקהילה, in the story of here. אבל מעבר לימוד, היה זה הלב של רבי רפאל שהפך אותו לחם מיוחד. בימי בין המצרים, I think it was during the 3 weeks of mourning between Shiva Tammuz to Tisha B'Av, in שהקהילה התאספה לומר תיקון חצות, they would say תיקון חצות, הוא היה יושב וגואה בבכי, כשהגיע למשפט נפלא עטרת ראשונה, so would cry obviously at this point in time, כולם בוכים יחד איתו, זה לא היה טקס, זו הייתה תחושה, תחושה אמת, התחברות עמוקה לצער השינה, ביקשו ממנו עצה, קיבלו תשובה פשוטה, אך מלאה באור at that point in time. So just shows that the community could actually feel, the sensitivity within regards to him, especially within regards to all the Jewish cycle life and the tefillot within regards to it. Another story here, מלאכים בחלון, what's it? מספרים שבילדות כשיהיו עוברים מתחת לחלון העלייה, ראו אור דולק בלילה. זה רבי רפאל מדבר עם מלאכים. He was speaking to angels, אמרו הילדים, והם האמינו בזה, כי כשפגשת בו הרגשת שיש שם משהו אחר. This was another powerful story over here given over. שורשים עמוקים. ביתו של רבי רפאל, his daughter of Rabbi Rafael, חציבה, נישאה לאהרון בן עזרא. יחד הם הקימו שושלת ענפי בישראל, משפחת בן עזרא, שמהווה עד היום משפחה בולטת בתחומי המסחר. Very, very outstanding family in himself. עשייה וקהילה בארץ, צאצאיו, מנהריה בצפון ועד אילת בדרום. שומרים את הלפיד באהבה התורה, they loved the Torah, the descendants to in of itself, בכבוד הדרי, great honor in of itself, בזכרון חי של הדורות. They really great within regards to remembering the previous generations, really great generations of rabbis. מורשת נצחים, היום 12 אחרי מותו. This is, I'm just reading from this article here, I don't know when it was actually written, I'd assume it was a while ago. היום, שניים אחרי מותו, סיפורי רבי רפאל עוד חיים. בבית בשולחן שבת, בסיפורים בין הדורות. ילד קטן, אולי לא יכיר את שמו, אבל ירגיש את האור. Really the family and the students and the descendants really feel greatness within them. כמו אז, כמו תמיד, כי צדיקים כאלה לא נעלמים. הם פשוט עוברים לדור הבא. So this is a great analysis of it. And he was a brother of another great rabbi from Meknes, Rabbi Yosef Elkouby. So we just spoke about Rabbi Rafael Elkouby, okay, also known as Malach Rafael. He's not the first rabbi to be known as Rabbi Malach Rafael. I'm not too sure the exact date of his Hilula when he passed away. So if anyone knows within regards to that or has more information, I actually personally know one of his descendants or someone that was connected to his family. But that's if anyone knows, I'd really appreciate that. So I can just write that down over here inside this presentation over here under the comment section. So let's say a bit in regards to Rabbi Yosef Elkouby. He was another great rabbi of his time. His Hilula was actually on the 11th of Cheshvan. He passed away in 1940. He was born in 1856. I'd assume Rabbi Rafael was born within a perimeter of that specific time period himself. I'm not too sure how old Rabbi Rafael Elkouby was when he passed away. I'll have to check that. Now, Rabbi Yosef Elkouby happened to be a famous Kabbalist. He was a posek. He was a Rosh Yeshiva in Morocco. He was actually obviously from Meknes. This is a great league of rabbis in Meknes. His father, I believe, that would be if he was a brother of Rabbi Rafael Elkouby. Their father was Rabbi David Elkouby. They were came from a chain of great lines of rabbis, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, his father would have a prominent. Rabbi David Elkouby would have a prominent role in the yeshiva in Meknes. It's actually interesting. Rabbi Yosef Elkouby would learn under Torah auspices of his father. Rav Chaim Meshash at that point in time. When he was 15 years of age, Rabbi Yosef Elkouby, he would learn Torah and Kabbalah through Rav Yaakov Elkouby. Begia lefrokot nisa v'nolda lo shmona yildim. I believe he would have 8 children, if I'm not mistaken. After his father, Rav David Elkouby, passed away, Rav Yosef Elkouby would be appointed Rosh Yeshiva in his stead, along with Rav Rafael. So both of them would be, both Rav Rafael Elkouby, who we're speaking about today, and Rav Yosef Elkouby will both be the Rosh Yeshiva, the head of this yeshiva, continuing the great line of Torah from the Elkouby rabbinic dynasty. So they were really, really open to bringing and nurturing great rabbis of previous time. Now it's interesting, I think he passed away on the 12th of November in the year 1940. Naturally, that was the 11th of Cheshvan. This is Rabbi Yosef Elkouby. He was 87 years of age when he passed away, and he was buried, I think, in the Jewish cemetery burial plot in Meknes. Now, he was Koneh Eliyahu Hanavi B'Shel Maaseh Chesed B'Prat Hachnasat Orchim. He was very well known, Rabbi Yosef Elkouby, for the great Hachnasat Orchim, receiving guests in of its own right, and he would get this nickname with itself because of the great kindness and chesed work he was doing. Remember, we spoke about how great Rav Rafael and Rav Yosef were. There was a great cluster of students actually will be nurtured from them. Rav Rafael Baruch Toledano, Rav Yosef Meshash, most notably, Rav Rafael Ederi, who we mentioned before, and Rav Shalom Meshash, which is absolutely astounding in of itself. So there was it's actually interesting. Rabbi Rafael Elkouby would not just have Rav Yosef Elkouby as brother. I believe among the brothers included Rav Khalfon and Rav Rachamim Elkouby. So that's very, very interesting. Just another extra pointer to go about. So let's explore a bit with regards to his Talmidim. They were very, very great at that point in time. We spoke about Rafael Baruch Toledano in previous occasions. We actually recorded a video quite recently because it was a Hilul of Rav Yosef Meshash only a few days ago. So recorded a video about him, which I very much recommend everyone to look about. Who was Rav Rafael Baruch Toledano, one of the students of the Elkouby rabbis. He was actually born in 1890. He passed away in 1970. He was 80 years of age. He was famous for being head of Jewish court and another rabbi, great rabbi of Meknes. He was the author of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, which was on, let's just say, Psakim of the famous Kaf HaChaim, Rav Sofer, respectively, over there. If I'm not mistaken, he passed away. Actually, his Hilul is on the 18th of Cheshvan. He was also the author of the Shut Rabbi Baruch, and yeah, very interesting. So it's actually interesting. His rabbi was not just the Rav Elkouby. He also had Rav Chaim Berdugo as his rabbi, also Rav Chaim Meshash, really, really great rabbis. And let's just say a word with regards to Rav Rafael Baruch Toledano. He actually was born in Meknes. His father was Rav Yaakov Toledano, who was a rabbi of Meknes also. His mother was Rabbanit Chana. And the Mishpachat Toledano, just like the Elkouby one, was also great rabbis from of the rabbinic dynasty. I think the Toledano family came from Spain, if I'm not mistaken, from Toledo, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he would get married to the daughter of Rabbi Shalom Amar, if I'm not mistaken. He was another great rabbi of that point in time. And he would learn under the auspices of Rav Chaim Meshash, one of the great rabbis that happened to be over there. And yeah, very, very interesting. I think he was close to Rav Yoshua Berdugo, for example. It was a great line of Rabbanim. I think they would work in Bet in the Jewish court together. Also, Rav Yosef Meshash, we were speaking about, and also, yeah, Rav Baruch Avram Toledano also. So that's very, very interesting. And many of the great rabbis of that. Rav Rafael Baruch Toledano eventually will end up in Israel. I think he would make Aliyah to Israel and live in Bnei Brak, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he would take on various different appointments over there. I think he was connected also with Agudat Israel, if I'm not mistaken. And he would actually partner in the Knesiyah Gedulach Chamishit in the year 1964, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he passed away on the 18th of Cheshvan, was buried in the burial plot in Yeshiva, in the Yeshiva Ponevezh, if I'm not mistaken. Rafael Baruch Toledano. Actually, there's many remembrances, let's just say, in his memory. I think even the municipality in Bnei Brak, if I'm not mistaken, would actually name road after him, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And also in other areas, also especially in Ramat Shlomo in Jerusalem, and he has many, many great descendants of great Rabbanim. Now, another one of his Talmidim was Rav Yosef Meshash. Rabbi actually recorded a video about quite recently, if I'm not mistaken. Rav Yosef Meshash, he was a great Posek Halacha, he was a Darshan, he was a poet, also he was a historian, and he would become the rabbi of Tlemcen in Algeria. He was a Dayan in Meknes, and he was part of the Bet Din of great rabbis in Morocco. And at the end of his life, he became a head rabbi, chief rabbi in Haifa, very, very prominent position over there in itself. He passed away in the year 1974. He was 81 years of age, as the rabbi spoke about on various occasions before. He's still very much spoken about also. Among his rabbis wasn't just Rabbi Rafael Elkouby and Rabbi Yosef Elkouby, who we're speaking about today. Also, Rabbi Chaim Meshash was a rabbi he would learn from. Rabbi Aaron Asudri, Rabbi Machluf Asudri, Rabbi Mordechai Amar, Rabbi Didier Toledano, Rabbi Yitzchak Sabag. It was a really, really great line of rabbis over there, and lived at a time period where there was other great rabbis like Rabbi David Ovadia, Rabbi Yeshua Maman, Rabbi Shalom Mashash, Rabbi Maimon Mashash, Rabbi Yitzchak Asbag, really great rabbis, if I'm not mistaken. He would have a son, Rabbi Eliyahu Mashash, Rabbi Yosef Mashash, another great rabbi. Obviously, he was a rabbi in Tlemcen over there for many years, and I think it was after Rabbi Chaim Beliach passed away, who was Rabbi of Tlemcen he would be afterwards, doing various different importances over there. And I think it was close to Rabbi Rafael Elkouby, most famously, if I'm not mistaken, and would get was very much part of a Bet-Din structure of that very, very important one. And I think he'd be there, if I'm not mistaken, for 17 years, if I'm not mistaken. He'd become a judge in Meknes afterwards. So talking about Meknes, Elkoubis were great rabbis in Meknes. Over there, after Rabbi Yaakov Toledano passed away, he would return to Meknes, if I'm not mistaken. And he'd be a Dayan over there and the head of Jewish court over there for 18 years. And he was known as Rabbi Yosef Mashashaya Ba'al Malachim Mistranot HaSultan. He was very close with dignitaries over there and noble people and government officials over there. And I think, famously enough in Meknes, he would actually have a meeting with the king of Morocco over there. Who zacha leot kavod mahamalach mahamelech umashach chinuch kishruv alo ho'il lo letzorach pilotot letovat Yudim. So very interesting. It would help, like, let's just say, the Jewish community over there also in various aspects. And Rabbi Yosef Mashash at the end will end up in Haifa. Over there, he would go to Eretz Yisrael, he would settle in Haifa, and I think initially he wouldn't want to be the chief rabbi of Haifa. He was offered the position, but then eventually he would take up that position, and I think it would be the head of the municipality over there. Abba Hushi would actually very much encourage him to be over there, and he was very close. Actually, he had a cousin of the name Rav Shalom Ashash. Actually, another interesting tidbit about him. It says over here, he wrote great books, I think, including Nen Mitzvah, if I'm not mistaken. Brilliant songs also he would compose, as we said before. He would actually compose a song for Yom HaAtzmaut, if I'm not mistaken, and a song in honor of the Rambam. That's most known to be also. There's Jewish Meknes project, actually, I found more information about. I think it's on the internet, where they are searching for descendants and generations of people that are connected very much to this great rabbinic family of the Elkouby family. I mean, that's something else very much have to point out over here, friends, over here, as we're exploring the life within regards to recording a special video with regards to Rabbi Rafael Elkouby, who was a very big famous rabbi close to 100 years ago in Meknes. I came from Meknes, from a cluster of great rabbanim of yesteryear. Now, one thing, just we're talking about one of the students over here, Rabbi Yosef Mashash, who we spoke a video about, just to say a few more words, because it was his Hilula quite recently. I think it was on Bet. It was just on Bet Shvat, which was only a few days ago. One brilliant thing about some of these rabbis in Meknes, especially Rav Yosef Mashash, they would look at the wider picture of things when they were poskening halacha, rendering different halachic laws. So, for example, Rav Yosef Mashash, going to become the chief rabbi of Haifa, he was known to be more lenient, but because that was the situation of the community, how they were poskening in, and many rabbis, many let's say contemporary issues come up nowadays on, I think, within regards to donations, organ donations, and topics like this. And Rav Yosef Mashash, his halachot are actually used as a, let's just say, something to determine various different laws, and he's brought down in many things. He's actually got, I think, some books in English, if I'm not mistaken, but a lot of printings. But many of these rabbis from Meknes, in its own right, they were very, very great in the different points of time. And, you know, we were speaking here about Rabbi Rafael Elkouby today here on this special edition. He wasn't only rabbi that was nicknamed the Malach Raphael. There was, if I'm not mistaken, there was also Rabbi Rafael, I think it was Rabbi Rafael Toledano, a first one from a couple of hundred years ago. Sorry, I think it was Rabbi Rafael Berdugo, if I'm not mistaken. He was actually nicknamed the Malach Raphael also. So this nickname, let's just say in of its own right, this honorary nickname, you can say, really would go down. So we're speaking here about Rabbi Rafael Elkouby over here, friends. Now, friends, everyone here, we are a community. We're learning about great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear. We've already spoken about maybe 150 great rabbis from Morocco. We are trying to formulate an online encyclopedia over here of great chachamim from yesteryear. First of all, friends, if any of you descend from any of these great rabbis we happen to be speaking about in this series, please don't hesitate, write a comment and send me an email. I would love to hear more information of the great chacham over here. And I was just using this my Tzaddik website and Wikipedia, and there was that Moroccan website which I did mention about at the beginning of the video, did provide some information within regards to what I stated today. That's something that I have to say on the outset over here. Now, when we just record videos about great rabbis of yesteryear. Also, another project that we are working on at the moment is we record history videos on all the various different countries across the world at the moment. Explore what was Jewish community like in those countries. Who were the great rabbis in those communities in of itself? That's something that we're very much, nurturing and investigating at the moment. So that's another great project we work on. We record also a daily tidbit on a page of Talmud. Every single day we try and record a tidbit with regards to Talmud, something inspirational. We've been doing this now for 3.5 years plus. Thank God we recorded about 1,100 videos already. So that is a, thank God, really educational and inspirational. So, and we also record on current events. We do another exciting project. We do tours all over Israel. So one thing we love doing is going to the especially more religious places, because they have a lot of streets named after these rabbis that we've recorded video about, these historians, and so on and so forth. So, it's absolutely amazing. Hopefully we can formulate some sefarim, some books with regards to some of the stories of these great rabbis. It's definitely a planned project that we are trying to do at the moment. And there's no community like ours. I think we're the largest community where we explore and we really, really try in English language within regards to the great North African rabbis. We speak about Ottoman rabbis of yesteryear. We speak about Asian rabbis, Israeli rabbis that print there, Spanish, Portuguese rabbis also. We try and really, delve into this topic of this specific rabbinate in of its own right. So it's very, very exciting. And yeah, most of our tours that we've done are recorded in Jerusalem, in Bet Shemesh, we've been to other places also. All over the country we've recorded videos also. So we like to see the archaeologies here of Israel and so on and so forth. We just came out of Shabbat, Parshat Bo. This week we're coming into Parshat Beshalach, which is obviously a very auspicious time. It's a time period of Kriyat Yam Suf, the splitting of the sea. We're going to read about this Shabbat, and we're going to, Bezrat Hashem, record a Parshat Shavua video also in due course, and much more also. So so I really thank everyone else for watching, and friends. At the moment we are trying to get towards 8,500 subscribers. The target is to get there by Tu B'Shvat, just in over about a week time at the moment. So let's see if we can get to that. At the moment, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our community. We recorded videos with about a few rabbis with regards to the Elkouby family. We recorded about Rabbi Rafael Elkouby's brother, Rabbi Yosef Elkouby, I think a couple of years ago. There was also Rabbi Habib Elkouby also, I have to point out. I'm not too sure how they were related, but I would assume they were somehow related somehow. So I'll have to investigate on that more. That was another name within regards to that. And I know they've got many generations of Talmudei Chachamim even nowadays. Some are living in England, some possibly in America, if I'm not mistaken, a lot living in Israel. So really continuing and perpetuating, let's just say, the Torah, especially the great Torah heritage that there was of yesteryear. So that's something I very much have to state over also. And once again, if anyone is new also watching this video in our community, welcome to our community, and wishing all a fantastic day. And thanks for spending the time to watch, and Shavua Tov U'Barach. And once again, I'm recording this in the morning, so also wishing a Boker Tov U'Barach, a good morning also to everyone, and thanks everyone, appreciate for you watching. Okay, have a great day, and